All right, we're good, Kev. What's going
All right, what's happening? So I'm going to start this week with Never Split the Difference. Bring it
on?
up.
So 1 second.
It's a book by an FBI negotiator.
Ah, nice.
His name's Chris Voss, and this guy I seen on social media. He, has
Oh
some
shit.
some cool quotes, and that's a great title. You said it. What did you say?
That's the most gangster title I've ever heard. It'll make me want to
Yeah.
read a book. Because bro,
Everything's a
everybody
negotiation. So,
right. Kev,
if you're looking at it,
real
never
quick,
split
Kev,
the difference.
no, do
Is,
you
is
judge
a
a
good
book by
title.
its cover? You do, right? We all do, right?
It makes you want to read it.
Makes you want to read it, right? I judge it in a positive way. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
2 million.
You
Do you
know
see it?
that
Do
that
you see? Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, one of the
Amazing.
first quotes,
Hmm.
and never split the difference. Conflict brings out truth, creativity, and resolution. And this guy drops a lot of like gems and different things just about life. And when you have two different perspectives, how sort of that plays out, right?
Hmm.
So
Kev,
he
Kev, do
drops
you
a
seen
bunch
this?
of like little tidbits.
Kev, you seen the screen? There's somebody did a visual like cheat sheet on this book.
No, go to
Are you
the
seeing it?
quotes. Yeah, I see that. But go to the
You
quotes.
see? All right, yeah,
Oh, that's all right. You can stay there if you want.
yeah,
In
yeah.
the name of
I
that looks
crazy.
cool. All right. So
Yeah,
the name of he's got a company called Black Swan, and I think he
yep.
does consulting for businesses.
Huh?
But he, you sir, leave this up. You don't have to bring up the exact quote, but that's one of them.
Hmm.
That conflict brings out truth, creativity, and resolution. What do you think?
Oh, that's the truth. And I've never even
Yeah.
heard that in school. They don't even teach. They should, you know what I mean? No professor has ever broke it down like that. That's
Here's the
amazing.
next one. Hope
Uh,
is not a strategy. So
mm,
you
very
you go into
beautiful.
every negotiation
Very
with
beautiful.
an end goal and what you're looking to achieve, right? So you
Beautiful.
don't just go in, blindly. Um,
Hope, hope is not a strategy. That is what's wrong today with, society, bro. You know that.
yep.
Everybody comes in, right? Like that's what I've seen, and I couldn't what I mean? I couldn't, like verbalize it, articulate it. That's what the problem is. Everything is
Yep.
done with hope. Oh shit. What's the fuck? See, the book titles. You know what I mean?
So the last thing is important, I think, in life.
Mm,
And I don't, it's a long quote, but basically it says research shows that when an individual feels listened to, they they listen to themselves more carefully and openly evaluate and clarify their thoughts and feelings. So empathy,
mm,
empathy is a big thing in a business negotiation. Or this guy's at the most high stakes level, and he's doing it in hostage negotiations and real life situations, and he's uh writes a book about what works in certain circumstances.
have you
So
seen this on the screen? What is
there you go.
tactical empathy? That's so fun.
Yeah.
That's so
and,
gangster. I never
and
heard of
it applies to life.
tactical empathy.
Recognize their perspective, validate their emotions by labeling it. It seems like
Mm,
pause to let the label sink
mm,
in. Every
love it.
fourth verbalization should be a label. So
Mm,
these are just tools, and it's a good book. And this guy, just some of his interviews and stuff are cool. I forget, he was on one of the big podcasts recently. Forget which guy it was. Maybe PBD.
yeah, probably.
Um, yeah, one of those. Or that UK guy. He's pretty
Hmm.
big. I think his name's Chris Williamson. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
think it
yeah,
was
yeah, I
that one.
see that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow.
All right, so let's. All right, so we have that.
Hmm.
And yeah, so we'll go on to we 50 Cent's book, 50th Power.
Okay.
Uh, so we go from that and we talk about 50th Power, and it says the great hustlers, one of their most successful moves was the setup. You distract people with something emotional, and while they're not paying attention, you grab what you want. So 50 talks about real life situations that he encounters, right? And he talks about, him coming up in the roughest circumstances. It's not going to apply to everybody, but you can put yourself right in that perspective. And he says, in life, people will take from you what they can. If they
Yep.
sense you're the
Yep.
type of person who accepts it and submits, they will
Mm-hmm.
push and push until they develop an exploratory relationship with you.
Absolutely.
Some do it overtly, some do it passively. You must demonstrate that there are certain lines that cannot be crossed. If you cross it, there is a price. And be fearless. And that's the theme of the book.
What book,
It's,
Kev? Is it
it's the
Hustle Harder
50th.
Hustle or
No, it's the
50th Law?
50th law. The idea is
Okay.
fearlessness.
Okay,
And he
got it.
talks about the most extreme circumstances. This guy growing up in Jamaica, Queens, that,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
had
Gangster.
at that time the roughest of the rough, right? And lessons he learned going through it with, a great author. So pull up another one. Let's see if there's any.
Which one?
Just a
What
random
about
one.
this
Go.
one?
Yeah,
This one I like, Kev. Let's see.
make it bigger.
Yeah, man, right here. Right here. I like this one.
That's a
Recent.
classic. Go read it.
Yeah. All right. People will constantly attack. It's like what you're saying, attack you in life. One of their main weapons will be to instill in you doubts about yourself, bro. That is a weapon, subtle
Yes.
weapon. Your worth, your abilities, your potential. They'll disguise this as their objective opinion, but it has a yep. Kevin, this is enacted on a small scale.
Finish
Okay,
it.
they will often disguise this as their objective opinion, but invariably it'll have a political purpose. They want to keep you down. Bro, this is enacted on a one person and scaled out to a society. You know that, right? This
Yeah,
is done
yeah,
on
for sure.
populations.
It's applied.
Population.
Correct. It's also micro at the micro level too, and
Right, one person.
the wide level.
Right.
And yes, you're right. Populations do this. Countries do this. They suppress
Right.
people in these communist places, right?
Yeah, and
Um,
socialist places. And socialist places too.
correct. And a lot of it is psychology, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Kev, they do this
there
in
was,
India. By the way, I
and
was
look,
there when I had to get my dad's
they
license. They do this in there. Think
no,
about it.
listen, it's human elements. It's human, right? That they're you know, people are going to it's like the old I guess way of things, right?
Hmm.
Gonna weigh you down and um you know
Amazing.
that's that quote, probably the
Oh,
book's built around that quote.
that book
um
is. This book should be taught in schools. I mean, you know what I mean? Like really.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's psychology, and his mentality, I don't think started off that way, right?
No, you don't think
It
so?
developed. No, I think it developed over time. Now, this is somebody, and I think most people's do. This is
Hmm.
somebody that probably had already, not probably, did have a tough upbringing, right?
No father.
And
No father,
yeah,
right? Yeah, right. To
his
begin with, and then lose a
grandmother,
mother. Then lose his
yeah,
mother at 9.
correct. At
Yeah,
a,
yeah.
so his grandmother raised him, and he was outside, and he developed this hardened approach.
Because you know
And
why, Kev? Because he couldn't relate to anybody. That's why,
without
right? But we no, not
also
right.
environment is important. Environment's important too. You
Right.
know, I would when you look at like this happens at all levels. Think about wars, right?
Hmm.
Think about like these old war stories. I
Hmm.
was listening to this podcast that Elon Musk listens to. It's about like old war stories. These soldiers in like these Asian wars with like
Hmm.
Philippines, or the soldiers were captured. They come back, okay?
Yeah.
They were held in the brutalest conditions. Psyche was changed, right? Survival instincts. Eventually, they go back, and they have the ideology. They're saying to their general that communism is the right way,
Mm.
or they're saying these thoughts that were the environment they're in were given to them,
So,
and
so Kev,
eventually they snap out of it and they're back in normal habitat. But
so Kev, you're saying
it's a psyche.
they're being re-educated in a way. That's what it is.
I,
They're
I
being
guess I
right.
I guess it's you readapted your psyche, and so he grew up in a hardened place, and I
Hmm.
think he developed that shell,
Yeah,
and it ultimately led to him being successful. But he's just one good example, and that's why it's a good book. Go into the next thing you were talking about.
but what?
Yeah, you said you were going to bring up what's going on in California.
Okay, we're done with this. Yeah.
Yeah, we did too. It's fine.
All right. So check this out. First of all, let me just pull this up. Kev, this is let me just bring this up right now. All right, so in California, bro, this is the first state that I couldn't believe Newsom actually got this up there. But California passed a law which which the subject matter. Look, it's right here. AI bill. Look, AI bill SB 1041. Right, I can pull it all up. Look at this. Hey, look, Hollywood's on it. Right, pretty much. What you can't do, right? What you're not allowed to look at this, Kev. Are you looking at this thing? It's already introduced. It's almost enacted. Okay. Pretty
Hmm.
much, you cannot use artificial intelligence, okay, as a developer, right, for any type of published work, all right, mimicking an actual life, actual, they use a term, an actual, what do you call it, life in reason, they call it, pretty much like somebody else, like, like, for example, like who died recently, right? Michael Jackson, right? Right? That's an example, right? This bill prevents me or you as developers to create something that has Michael Jackson's image through AI. Like if me and you were trying to make like something silly, right?
Correct.
We can't do that.
Correct. Correct.
Uh, Amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's whew, you
Yeah.
know what I
So
mean?
so the
It's
importance applies in California, and it applies to different things like court cases. You can't use AI, and you can't reinvent stuff and get in business advertising credit. You can't do things like that.
nope,
And they're the
nope.
first state to put this through.
Now
And
look at this.
I guess
Yeah.
what it says
Hmm.
is,
Tell me.
most of the things they pass, sometimes they get criticism for being political too far. Seems like they're keeping up with time, right?
You think so?
As time per, I think so. I think as time as innovation and technology comes forward, you got to keep up with it.
Okay.
And certain things like this, I think are doing that.
Okay. So check this out. This bill in particular, Kev, just to finish. It pretty much, well, that's what they say. See, okay, look, check this out, Kev. You cannot do deep fakes, right? Now, if you do a deep fake, Kev, you could do deep fakes, okay? They haven't gone that crazy, that tyrannical yet, right? But guess what we would have to do? We need to put an AI watermark, which is pretty, what do you call, innovative, you know? I mean,
So
as a lawyer,
it has to be like a meme,
it has to have
or
it has to have like a little
yeah,
watermark on that image, right? To say that it is AI produced, pretty much.
which is fair.
Which
And
is fair, right? Yeah, that's what I was about to
yeah,
say, Kev.
that's what it should be.
Eh,
Otherwise, it's very hard to distinguish, and it should be that way. And you
But
see how far things are coming. I mean, some of these apps coming out. We talked about one last week. There's another one,
Mhm.
and well, you want to finish what you're saying?
No, 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 no. I mean,
Uh,
well, Kev, pretty much what the critics are saying, which I also agree. So you know how this all started? Remember, this bill has been on his desk for a while. Remember, this is a state bill, okay? It's not federal yet. It's state. So what does this mean, Kev? The federal Supreme Court can knock this down. I doubt it. They could. It's 50-50, okay? They could say that this affects free speech. Like you're requiring me creating a speech, right? Expressing myself, an expression. I have to put something. And if not, I have civil penalties. The Supreme Court, Trump's court, remember, the Supreme Court is political, bro. It does, we can't escape that, right? The justices, but they could knock this down, and then there goes that. All right, just to let you know. Right now, this is
Yeah.
enacted in California. So whatever me and you do in California, like for example, we're in New York or Florida, right? If we
Not there
create
yet.
it, no,
Yeah.
but
So
if we,
it's a precedent they're setting.
yeah, right, but check this out. If me and you create like let's say a meme on TikTok, right? This is how it affects me and you, all right? Even though we're from New York or Florida, right? If it reaches the stream of commerce, that's the legal term in California, meaning if
Okay.
people in California pick
Social
up,
media.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
and they have residence in California, it applies to us now because
Okay.
we are inputting it
So
in the
then it's
stream
so then it's
commerce.
pretty. Then it's yeah. So it has a lot to do with advertising. It's pretty sweeping then. And
Exactly. It's pretty sweeping. Right. Think about it,
yeah.
right? It's gonna sweep anybody. All you need is one person to receive that expression. And if it does not
Yeah.
have the AI watermark, you know what I mean? It's a violation
Yeah.
under that statute. And then we could say, well, we didn't create it for California, but it doesn't matter. It reached the stream of commerce there in that state, the minimum contacts. And I said, now check this out. What happened? What really triggered this? Just really quick, Newsom to like really sign it. It's been on his desk because he was on the fence, all right? Because this has, massive implications in all industries. Pretty much somebody did a parody, right? Of like one of the political candidates, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm a DIA high. It was on TikTok. I'm a DEI high, right? It was deepfake, okay? It was 100% deepfake, all right? It was one of the Democratic political candidate, right? That got into the stream of commerce in California, where Newsom's like team and like the political party, like they're like, oh my god, this can really make people think, But honestly, bro, if you have a reasonable mind, right, of average intelligence, you would have saw that was a parody, okay? There's no way, you know what I mean? You
Hold
would have
on.
saw
Hold
that,
on.
but that's what happened.
Certain things. But you got to think as technology progresses,
Okay, I agree.
they're getting ahead of it. Now let me just say this.
I agree.
Think about it. Think about it in the stream of things um with stories that go viral. People
Yeah.
know how to create viral stories,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have
Yeah.
PR. You also have dark PR, right? Where they know how to
Yeah.
create a story that's not necessarily true.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have certain rails in
No.
place. Most people might realize that, but
Well,
some
that's
might
what I would
might think
say.
it's real. Some might think it's
Yeah.
real,
Yeah.
and a lot of times people create content to be viral. They're not doing it to spread
Yeah.
news. They're doing it for it to be viral. So when you make things more, extreme and you touch on certain things, you have more of a chance. So that's interesting.
But look at the screen. It was pretty much for to combat election deepfake, right? And that's pretty much. But okay, so now here's another. Kev, real quick on this because it's significant. Here's another view. Look what our boy Musk says.
Mm-hmm. What's up? I don't know. It was you, man.
Yeah, it just split up everything.
Okay, so get back in.
Yeah, let me get back in here. What the hell? This was good. I'm gonna send you in.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
He left in finally.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. You're in.
Hey,
Okay, got
take
that.
the
Okay,
time,
so we're
Mark.
back.
Write that down.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Let me just see. We're at 12 seconds uploading. 1 second. All right. Uh,
So
now
let's.
look what Musk says. Just real quick. Give me that. He's saying it makes the law parody illegal,
Yeah.
which is, what do you think, Kev? I mean, It's not wrong.
He's saying what the law
The
it
law,
makes illegal.
yeah, because it's a deep fake. It makes parody illegal, pretty much.
Okay, that's what he's saying.
Hmm.
He's saying that every parody is changed.
It becomes
That's not
illegal.
necessarily the case, right?
Yeah, look,
No, I don't necessarily think. Not every parody, not every meme is changed, right?
yeah,
It
yeah.
could be just be a picture and a caption that's funny, the different
Right.
perspective. But a lot of it is that he's actually, he's got a point, right?
Hmm.
Some truth to it. He's
Yeah.
saying that a lot of it is a
Right.
little bit manipulated,
Right.
so it's going to affect that a lot.
It's going to
And
affect everything. It's sweeping.
yeah. So he is somebody that enjoys memes, right? He's
He
on
owns
Twitter
X.
posting a lot.
Right. He owns X.
Correct. So he's seeing that as X is more common for that
Hmm.
than Meta. So hold on. Is this an attack against Musk? you know, it affects probably X most because they are I guess, the most memes, right?
Yep.
TikTok as well, I'm sure. But it doesn't affect Facebook, Instagram, and Instagram too, I guess. So
But Kev,
we'll see.
it's long case law. Parody is legal in America. You're allowed to parade, parody anything. This bill is saying no, you can't. If you do parody something, you have to put a little watermark. Like you have to write like
Yeah,
parody. You know what I mean? Like
but
you
it's
have to
not saying
you know.
no. You just can't change something, and you can't change it. Okay,
Hmm.
but meaning you can't change an image. You can't make yourself more muscular and then put it out there and say, "Hey, I just went to the gym." But
Mm.
you could put a picture of yourself and a funny quote under it. That's parody, and that's fine. But I see what he's saying. All right, let's move on.
So what do you think? You think this is in the right direction? I mean, like you
You
said,
know,
bro, it makes sense.
we'll see.
Yeah, oh
We'll
yeah, we'll
see.
see, we'll
I
see.
mean,
Right, right, right,
sometimes you don't know right away,
right, right.
right?
We'll see. You're
Things,
right.
things.
But this is gonna be
Um,
this is gonna be sweeping, like you said, Kev. This is a significant. California, can you believe it? It's the first state that's really consequential now. No other state did this. It's nuts. You know, starting
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So what's up? What's next?
Um, so there was a new AI app
Mm-hmm.
in the UK.
Okay.
There's two. There's one that it's an expiration date. Okay, you
Okay.
pay $40.
Uh-huh.
It's able to, I guess, put things together, and it tells you what your expiration might be. Would you want to know? That's the key question. I wouldn't.
No. What's the name of this app?
It was in the post. It's called Death Clock,
Oh my God.
and that's a pretty creepy name.
Yeah. Wow.
Um,
Wow.
but
Wow.
they're basically, they're obviously not going to be, they're going to give you an estimate, and but my thing is
Mm.
this is if you are somebody and you pay $40,
Mhm.
it says you're going to live to 100 years old, right?
Okay.
I would want to know that, because if I was going to go play softball this weekend with, or catch up or whatever, hey, I'm going to live to 100. I'll do it next week. So to have a clock is motivating.
Yeah, it
And we
is.
talked about that. We talked about that with a lot of these younger folks that want to live forever, and they're putting money into the life science and extending life. That's a
Hmm.
big field now.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, so I think this might be
Mm.
something, a tool for that life extension whole community, right? People want to live longer now.
Yeah, this
So
is
if
good to
you
psych you
have
out. This is
an
good to
app,
this is good to psych you out. You know what I mean? To make you know what I mean?
yeah,
Make you
but
right.
but
Yeah.
but but my question is, want to know, and I think the answer to most is probably no.
Well, no, no, Kev, no.
So
We would want to know when we were like in high school, right? I think that, you know what I mean? But I think as you get older, you don't want to know, right?
I think it depends on a person, but my point is you know, is time is a motivator,
Yeah,
and
time is, yeah,
you
yeah,
take that away. So having the mindset I got a limited time is motivating.
very motivating,
You know,
very motivating.
so
I mean,
and not to say that this is extremely accurate. You know, they're just taking a whole bunch of data and they're giving
but they're
you
saying
rough numbers. So
they're saying it's encouraging. It's an encouraging act.
yeah, well, that's my thing. If this is
Mhm.
a tool for the life extension
Yeah, look
community
at
that are trying to live longer because of they're trying to extend health and wellness and live longer. If it's a tool for that, then I get it. I think that a lot of good things are happening in that space where they're advancing medicine and certainly enhancing drugs. That leads me to the next thing that
Mhm.
Wegovy, they were in Congress today,
What?
and Wegovy Nova Nordisk is a company that has it, right?
Okay.
$1,300, I
Uh-huh.
believe, is the average cost of it, and they're trying to say it's too expensive for most people.
Hmm. And what
So
does it do?
they makes you lose weight.
So it's like Ozempic. Yeah, look at this, Kevin. They're on. Yeah, look at this. They went to
Correct,
Congress
correct,
today. Wow.
correct. So Congress said, "Hey, make it cheaper," and Wegovy said, "We'll think about it. We'll see. We're not going to commit to making it cheaper. You
Right.
know what? What they say is we'll talk." And what they're really saying is, we cut our margins.
Hmm.
This is up to the health insurers.
Hmm.
Let's pass it right back to you. That's what happens with this. It's greed, and that article says greed, greed, and it goes back and forth. But yeah. So my point, I brought it up, is loss is an enhancement drug. It's not a therapeutic. Most people are not taking that to lose weight because they're obese. It's off label. You're taking it because you want to lose weight and feel good, and there's sweeping effects to it, right?
What
When you
do you mean?
like less sleep apnea
Hmm.
for the world,
Hmm.
when you lose weight, there's less cardiovascular disease. There's a whole bunch of things. It's a whole sort of pendulum. But my point is 1,300 is a lot, and but the reason I brought it up is if people are changing their perception that it's okay to use drugs when you're to feel better or to as an improvement, that is a difference that never happened before. And the drug companies, they see dollars at the end of the day. So if they start funding more of these things, all of a sudden medicine gets looked at different. People are more accepting, right?
Yeah.
If it's a there's a whole new wave of smart drugs. There's a whole new wave of different. I talked about the enhanced games, right? Where you got these people that are competing in the Olympics, and they're saying that 60% of the Olympics, the athletes have used some sort of enhancement anyway. So they're doing it without the same type of guidelines, and trying to create like a superhuman Olympics, which is an extreme, but it opens up the idea to people being more accepting for enhancement. So, and it started with this. Wegovy, it started with Ozempic.
Are they the same thing?
Um,
Is it the same thing? Ozempic, like I know Ozempic is the
yeah,
same.
they're similar.
Okay, got it. All right, all right. Same thing. So
There's others coming out.
so check this out on the topic of Ozempic. So someone we know, right? I'll tell you the name after. Um, you know, uh, started taking Ozempic since April, right? I swear to
Hmm.
God, I couldn't believe the effects. He told me, I'll tell you, I have to think his name. You know him. He
Yeah,
lost a lot, bro, a lot. I mean, unbelievable the weight he lost, right? In
yeah,
2 months.
yeah.
So this is how much it
It
costed for him.
works.
Yes, right. This is how much it costed for him, right? 200 a week, and he has to take the shot like once a week. So it's 800 a month,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what he's been doing.
So that's
That's
yeah,
pretty
that's
much
what
that's
we're
pretty.
saying. This I think it's went up. That one's 13. It's
Mm,
expensive,
okay, so one.
but
Okay, got it. It went up. All right.
but
Okay.
people want to lose weight. They want to feel better. They're willing to spend more on something like that. But it's expensive.
Almost
No,
skinny.
and it depends on the brand.
Almost like
That's a good. Hold on, that's a good name for a podcast.
what?
Almost skinny.
Almost skinny.
Almost.
Almost yo.
That's a good name for a book. That's a good
Yeah,
name for a lot of
almost
things.
skinny. Yep. Like yeah.
That should be his nickname. All right, let's go real quick
Mm,
into the Diddy. We'll just touch on it quickly. You wanted to bring it up, but before we get there, I want to say one thing on Diddy. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Uh, so he signed a deal with Ciroc in
Yes.
'07
Yeah. Talk to me about that. Yeah. I don't know
to
what's going on.
purchase.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to just connect a few things. We're
Mm-hmm.
just talking. We're just talking.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying this would happen, but let's just look at it from a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I seen something that said this. Signs a deal with. So we're looking at the business side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ciroc in '07.
Mm-hmm.
This does not negate anything. Purchases Deleon in 2013.
What is Deleon? It's just another
A tequila.
a tequila. Got it. Okay. Got it. All right.
He accuses sometime early 2023 accuses Diageo, the distributor,
Okay.
of favoring other brands and racism. He accuses them of. Okay,
Oh, Kev, that's not good.
hold on. Let me just finish. So
Uh,
sometime a few months later, he drops it and he
yeah.
starts getting hit with lawsuits that
Yep.
are now have piled up. And is it possible that Diageo, a billion-dollar company, and I'm not saying it, but this was what someone said, one of the celebrities, I believe it was 50 Cent actually,
Okay.
that him and Diageo relationship might have got him tangled up, and it led to what else came. That does not
Oh.
make anything. That does not make anything he did. Does not disregard any of it, right? Although there's victims, and you got to feel horrible for all of them. But Diageo is a powerhouse.
Kev, I did
75 billion.
right, Kev. I didn't even know who they like. I never heard of this company until this thing came up. Like
Okay, so there
75
are
billion.
companies.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And if you look at
Wow.
their brands, they own them. They have all the. I think Moet.
Okay.
They had Ciroc. They had Deleon. I think they had Patron. There's only three big distributors.
Oh my God, Kev, look at this. Johnny
Yeah, those are all the
Walker,
big brands.
Ciroc, Johnny Walker, Smirnoff,
Yeah.
Guinness. Yo, this
Smirnoff, yeah.
Smirnoff. I know Smirnoff.
Yeah.
I call it Smirnoff.
Don Julio.
Kettle One. Kettle One.
Yeah,
That's what Kettle
Kettle
One.
One's huge. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God,
So,
I didn't know this. They're like Jesus.
yeah. Well, there's three big distributors. It's them, it's Southern,
Okay, Southern. Okay, let me see. Southern.
and it's an Empire is another. But the
Okay.
point is, Southern's they're not a public company, but Southern Glacier, yeah, these are big companies. Actually, hold on.
Uh-huh.
If I'm not mistaken, they might have overlappings too, where they might share something, but I believe it was with Diageo.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And
Who had his brand.
yeah.
All right. Anyway, go back to Diageo.
Yeah. I'm just trying to. I
Which
never even heard of this. Yeah, I know. Right here. My God.
most people don't hear about the
No.
distributors. They hear about the brand.
Right.
They're not hearing about how it gets
Right.
to those different bars and
Kev,
and
founded in
stores.
1997. I mean, like that's less than 30 years, man. Like what?
Yeah. So
Jesus.
huge money, all these brands behind
My
them.
God.
Now,
Hennessy.
let's just say,
Oh my God.
yeah.
This is I didn't know this.
Now let me say this. So he wanted to get more marketing budget. He thought they were not favoring him for his tequila, because he was black. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You made that known.
Now,
Yeah.
tequila typically uh, is not typically a hip hop brand, meaning it's right. It's Hennessy, it's cognac, and I guess vodka, but tequila. People know tequila with Hispanic, right? Mexico, and so I don't think it's huge in the hip hop culture. So for them to not give them a huge budget, I mean, I don't. I think they just do the research like these big companies. They're going to do the research of what groups of people use and enjoy what products, and then they spend. So he did that, and then it might just be a coincidence, but it's just an interesting set of events, you know. And what were you going to say about this? You wanted to
Yeah.
say something.
So Kev, just by you saying what you brought up, they're doing your research. Check this out. Fireman 50. Look what he says. I want to put this out there because it actually goes in line with what you're saying.
You see, I had a lawsuit with Remy.
Come on,
With
let's
Remy.
see. Come on.
Said that because
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
you
let's.
see, I had a lawsuit with
I
Remy.
I seen it.
Because I had an oval shaped bottle that
This
there
is
was some sort of product confusion, and I'm like, weird. It's a big P in the middle of the bottle. Like you don't own the shape, the whole shit.
50's in the little leagues compared to
So it came
his brand, liquor brands.
and like 1738. I bet they had slaves.
Ooh.
Then she got uncomfortable. And it was like, look, relax, okay? Then we make donations to existing foundations to make you feel happy.
Kev, this is why you gotta love it. Right? Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
He said 1738. I heard they had slaves. Dude, when I saw this, you saw this, right? I died laughing. I was like, yo, this is the most funniest shit ever.
Listen, I think Ciroc was so massive
Yeah,
and was such a hit.
yeah,
50, and it was authentic.
yeah.
50 meaning he did it. He was the first one and blew up. 50 came out with his stuff right after, and it was like it just seemed like he just seen
Yeah, effing,
this guy
yeah.
was doing it.
Yeah,
Effing
was
effing bad, you know.
It was, right?
So
I know. I had a shot a long time ago. It was Kev. It was a it was clearly not as good as Ciroc. You remember like 10 years ago?
Listen,
They would offer both.
Ciroc is made, I think, with a different type of let's see what it's made with.
Let me see.
It's made from grapes instead of grains or potatoes.
Okay.
So they had a different sort of new sort of way of vodka. Most are potatoes
Okay, but Kev,
and grains.
so Kev, just look at this. Are you looking at the screen? Look what you're saying. Ciroc is actually high-end vodka. It's made from French grapes, the highest order. Wow. That's why it's five times.
So they it was a good product. That's why it got so big. I would say that Diddy was in the club bouncing around, but I think you might have put that next to somebody else. It would have did good too.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Good it was a good product. You know.
Right. Effin, they did. Remember when they were promoting it?
Garbage.
Yeah. Remember when they were promoting it like 10 years ago, like a couple of years ago, right? Any bar you go to, they'd offer you one another just to get like your input. That happened to me. I had Ciroc, very like smooth. I had Effin, bro. That's it. That's that. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like Southern Comfort. You know the stuff you know what I mean? The cheap. You know what I mean? Like the cheap stuff you can get at 7-Eleven. Was that your same experience?
Yeah.
It tasted like that.
With what? Effin? I think I tried for a second.
Right.
Never.
It's like it's a cheap vodka you could buy at 7-Eleven. You know what I mean? Like with those like that. That's what it tastes like. Yeah, I mean, I guess but yeah, it was. You're right, and that's why he lost. But Kevin, you can't deny what 50 said here was amazing, right?
You see,
I mean, 1738. Did they have slaves? Yeah, that's the way to do it. What Diddy did, he accused them. The power got to his head, is what people say. People say like he went off on them on Diageo.
Yeah. He thought he was bigger, and yeah. I mean, if that happened, we don't know. We're just just spitballing, but 75 billion. Is that what it said? 75 billion?
Yep. 74.
75,
Yep. 74 billion.
$74 billion.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big boy.
Well, yeah, right. But that's a serious organization, right? Of value, market
Yeah.
cap. Now look at this article, Kev. This is like last year, right before
Well, hold
everything.
on. Think about this. Think about it this way. Think about all the big restaurants. Okay.
Yeah.
Think about, the biggest of the big restaurants. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They have to do business with Diageo.
They have to.
Meaning, think about how much they're selling. Think about, Diageo's making money off all of that. So they're a part of, they're a part of the world, business. So when,
Right.
so that's how big they are. They're not touching little subsets. They're wide. So
Now
yeah,
look at this, Kev. This is written last year. Diddy accuses business partner of racism. That's serious, Kev. From Diddy, you know what I mean? Look at this. You know what I mean?
yep.
Serious, voluntary. Then guess what happens this year, Kev? January. He voluntarily dismisses. Yo, he filed a racial discrimination lawsuit against Diageo. That must have hurt some feelings at the board. That did.
Diageo, same thing.
Yeah, Diageo, right? Look, that must have
Same thing.
a racial discrimination suit. Yeah, that must have hurt feelings. Yep. Look, that must have hurt feelings. Yeah. Oof. The board
Right.
did not take that lightly. You know what I mean? Okay, let's transition to
All right.
this.
Let's say one last thing.
What's up?
What did you want to go to?
Diddy's bail. The second we ended with that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, go.
So what were you gonna say? What last thing?
It's off Diddy, but if you want to say something, go to it.
Okay. Right here. So check this out. Kev, remember what? No.
You just had a delayed. Okay, okay.
No, I was no, because when you brought up Diageo, bro, like 75 million, that's a big number. I didn't even like that. Like, what is that organization? You know what I mean? Like now it all makes sense. It all like if you know, I mean, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
That article accusing Diageo of racial discrimination, and then this happened. You could point to. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying it makes sense. You know what I mean? This is what happens when you mess with. You know what I mean? Especially if it had no merit, right? Like I said, the power got to his head. He thought he was bigger. He tried to bite the hand that feed him. I mean, now it makes sense, bro. 75. You don't go against a $75 billion company like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You go after.
And no. I mean,
you go after mom and pops, right, Kev? You go after mom and pop companies about racism,
you don't.
right? You don't.
That's something you don't. He said. That's the. There's racism.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's what he did. There's a few, areas that are, are very the press, they'll run with it. So he went after them.
Right, and I guarantee you, Kev.
Now listen, what Kanye West did with Adidas, talking about religion, that's a tough one too, right? What is? But I think racism. So
racial discrimination.
Kanye, hold on. Difference is Kanye West just spoke out. I think he wanted to get out of the contract or whatever and do his own thing. Who knows? What did he? He was throwing haymakers.
And do you think it had an effect? See, the moment he announced the racial discrimination lawsuit, Diageo's stock probably tanked, right? For that day or that week, right? And I mean, it's a 15-year partnership. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Kev, 15 years. I mean, oh man,
you could.
I mean, right? 15. Right. You were saying?
No,
you were saying about
it's pretty resilient, but it is it is lower over the last few months.
So you think it had an effect? You think it had a direct impact? No?
A little. It's just like Adidas, and you're gonna have it's still a chunk of revenue, but the show must go on. These are machines. You're
Yeah.
gonna have a new Adidas shoe.
Right. Right.
You're gonna have a new vodka. And you know, it is what it is. But all right, move on. But
Okay.
there's nothing you want to say about what do you want to say about he got denied?
Yeah. So from last time, Kev, look. So this is a common tactic, right, with criminal lawyers, right? So like the first judge, remember, he denied it, right? Right now, Diddy's in Manhattan, right? He's in federal holding, the same facility that Epstein, just to give you context, was held on, right? It's a fake.
Yeah,
It's in Brooklyn, right? It's metropolitan. It's down there, right? It's for federal cases. Remember last week we discussed the judge just said no. So it's
yeah,
common after like I think 5 days, you can go to another judge, right? The defense can go to another judge to try to get bail, right? Normally it kind of works, you know what I mean? I thought that maybe everybody thought like maybe a $20 million like bond or something, right? They denied it too. A second judge.
yeah.
Which
And I'll say this: he paid off his mortgage
Mhm.
in full to
Okay.
show good faith. To
Okay.
show good faith, right?
Uh-huh.
His obviously his team probably told him to do that.
Yep, they
They,
can't they
right,
can't repossess, right? They can't repossess
to,
one home. Yeah, yeah,
to,
you're right.
so it looks like he's here to stay. He just paid off his mortgage. He's not going anywhere.
Got it, right?
So that's why they likely did it. But hold on,
Mm-hmm.
paid off a big chunk of it. I think it was almost 20 million. Okay,
Okay, all right.
financially, that is a big move and risk if it doesn't work because you're now taking your money and paying off loan and who knows where that was. He might have been getting more and he just did that to show, to put that package together. So he takes an L on that. And they said no.
So Kev,
So that was a gamble.
okay, got it. I agree. So Kev, so look, what happened was for the second request, right? The second bail request, the motion, his lawyers, right? They offered the court $50 million in cash. Oh my God! I mean the court. I mean $50 million,
Well,
and that's not
yeah,
enough.
cash package. Meaning he owned his house, he put that up.
No, no,
You
no.
know,
Yeah, yeah, Bob. I'm
yeah,
just saying something of
can't
liquid, right? Readily, it's like
something that he owns and he could put the deed up. Yeah,
right away. Like you mean, if he doesn't show up, it's 50 million in the court's hands, right? GPS, all these
they said
limitations,
no.
Kev. They said no. So what does that tell you, man? I mean, this is significant. I mean, I
I'll tell
thought
you what
they
it
wanted
tells
some
you.
more money.
I'll tell you what it tells you.
I thought more money, bro. I thought that
It
would have
it
made it.
tells you this, that they did not do it. Maybe they could say he's being a flight risk, but I think they're more concerned with he
Witnesses?
is
Yeah.
in a position of power. They don't want him to be out there that you know he
Yeah.
holds intimidation
Witnesses
and
and stuff, right?
yeah, so they want to make sure, but
50
that
million.
he's
I mean, that's significant. Got 50 million putting up to the court. That's you know what I mean. I thought that they were gonna, between me and you, I thought it was gonna play hardball the first time, and then they would do something as extravagant, extraordinary like this, right? And then they would say, okay, we would have heard news, right? We would have got news. Yeah, he posts 50 million. It happens all the time in high
hey
profile.
hey,
But
hold on. He did get that civil thing overturned though.
yeah,
Remember last time
yeah, yeah,
that there was a
yeah. So
guy that was like that got overturned.
yeah, no, it didn't get overturned. It got reopened. So what happened was the default judgment. There's a way to what do you call open it back up, right? You just file an order to show cause,
Yeah, but
and
the
then
guy
they didn't.
never served the guy never served his papers, and he said he did. So that's gone.
Ooh, Kev, I don't even, I had no idea. That's what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah. So that's gone.
Oh, so that's okay. Oh wow, that's something I didn't even know. Hold on, let's see. Okay, look, okay, Kevin, we're here. Look, let's see. $100 million gets a break. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, in
It was
circuit court.
dismissed.
So this was an appeal, just so you know. Whenever you're talking about circuit, that's not like the trial court. Okay, that's a circuit court. That's above trial courts. All right, just so you know. Then you got the Supreme Court on top. So just saying, it's a circuit court. They say that what happened? Okay, got it, Kev. This is amazing in Michigan law. So his lawyer, so exactly, Kev. They vacated the judgment. So that's it. He would have to
Yeah.
file again. So you know what he has to do, Kev? Kev, look at this. Kev, this is what I'm talking about, bro. I mean, do you know what happened here with that guy who filed the suit? He filed it without an attorney. Of course,
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah.
do it
It's not. It's
properly.
bullshit.
Right, of course you didn't do it properly.
Meaning, that's
Wow.
that's probably gone.
Yeah, but no, but I'm saying
But
for him to do it right is he has to file it again and serve Diddy. But guess what, Kev? How's he gonna serve Diddy when Diddy's incarcerated? You know what I mean? You have to physically serve an individual. You know, if you're not suing the company, the only like for example, like you right? If somebody wanted to get at your firm, they can serve a board member, right, or your assistant, okay, if you allow, it, right?
Mhm.
But when it comes to an individual, if somebody wants to serve you, you have to be physically present. You can't serve someone when they're incarcerated. So like this guy's,
Mhm.
he should have just served it the right way. He's so dumb. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's done.
That's yeah. Yeah. All right, last thing we'll touch on. Last thing we'll move on from the diddler. Last thing, you have Visa.
Kev, you there?
Yeah,
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 yeah. You got
yeah.
kicked
Some,
off
yeah,
again, huh?
yeah. Something. See, this is what I'm saying with the software. Something, you know what I mean, just crashed. But okay. So what we were saying, final. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to go back over this.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
You know, meaning stamp it all, and we'll go back over it. But
I have it all written.
um,
I know what to do. Yeah, I know what to do. But talk to me. What's the final thing? That's why wrap up.
final thing is Visa.
Hmm?
They were accused of a monopoly.
Who?
Visa.
Who? Wow. Okay. This is some good news.
And
This is I didn't even.
and
Wow, Kev, this is recent. We're
so
getting this
here,
intel. This is recent. Wow.
yeah. So it's in the Wall Street Journal,
Mm.
and saying for monopoly on debit card
Hmm.
use. And here's what I'll say to that.
What do you say?
Okay,
What do you say? Interesting.
is when you go to a restaurant, there's a sales tax you have to pay.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you go to a restaurant, you pay it, blah blah blah. It's a few percent, right?
Hmm.
A solution to that is something called Bitcoin,
Yeah.
which is a delayering mechanism. So let's just look at this side. All right, I go to a restaurant, I pay in Bitcoin. We're not there yet, but let's just say what happens is there's no that tax, that sales tax that goes to the credit card companies isn't applied. That extra money now could go to the workers, okay, or the restaurant. They make a little bit more, right? You can go to the kitchen, go to the whatever. Um, it's a delayering mechanism where you take out the middleman. There's a reason Visa and MasterCard were investing in like NFTs when it was hot and all these things, because they understand the future is potentially in peer-to-peer. I go to a restaurant, I eat, I pay in possibly Bitcoin, and I leave the restaurant. Instead of having that intermediary, you gets taken out of the equation. So
Well,
that might be the
but
future.
Kev, it's not just taxes. They charge a processing fee for every swipe for themselves.
Correct. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
processing fee,
Processing
the
fee,
card fee.
yeah, the card
The
fee.
taxes, that's going to stay. Yeah.
By the way,
But
the going rate is like 15 cents plus 1.65% on Visa, MasterCard. Do you want to know the most expensive? Discover. Discover charges like 4% per swipe. That's why some people like we don't
that's a
take
lot.
Discover and American Express. That's why certain merchants they're like, yo, we don't take Amex or Discover because of that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot, 4% per swipe. Per swipe. So what, Kev? If you're doing a $1,000 swipe, what is 4%? Jesus, you talk about $40 right there, right on top of tax. $40 right there.
Just for swiping.
Just for the processor,
but
right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So at the end of the day, we'll see how that plays out. Look, we're still going to be using credit cards and debit cards. You still need them, and they're still going to be a thing. But that's a recent article. So we'll wrap it up. And good talk.
One last thing, Kev, before I wrap this up, and remember, you got to stay and click the part. Listen, the reason I bring it up because look, we're not going to bring up anything unless there's a major update with Diddy. So, what do you think? Do you think next month? Do you think he'll eventually? What's your prediction? Will be released, or do you think they're going to have him fighting the case from the inside? I'm very curious because I don't know. I thought $50 million is a lot to offer. What do you think? You think they're going to make him fight the case inside, which is a disadvantage? You know what I mean? Because it's just, you can't, the whole time? Or do you think?
I'll let you answer that question.
I don't know, Kev. I mean, someone as him.
I don't know either.
What do you think? Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just trying to get, Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
You think the whole case? Do you think the whole case they're gonna have him fighting inside, like he's Ted Bundy, or do you think eventually they're teaching him a lesson? They'll let him go. What do you think?
I'll deflect that one to you. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it's possible he could be in there for a year.
A year, right?
But
yeah.
2 years. I mean, it's possible.
Right.
I don't know. That's your question.
Kev, between me and you,
to answer.
Kev, between me and you, I think I mentioned
we'll
this.
See.
I mentioned this last week.
But also,
I thought he'd be released.
This guy does run businesses.
Right.
Yeah, he does run businesses, and it's probably not easy for him to do that in there.
Remember Madoff was released on bail with an ankle monitor. Okay, just to give you context. All right. So that's what I'm saying.
But hold on. But what he did,
I get it,
and the crimes
I get it.
what they're saying his background is, is why they're doing it, right?
I get it. I mean, I think it's just crazy to fight a case from the inside. You know what I mean? Because it's very, you know what I mean? You're not going to, you know what I mean? It's very difficult. That means every time he has to speak to his lawyers, think about it. This is a case of massive, enormous evidence and defenses, right? Are they really trying to say yo, man, because the lawyers can only see him so many hours at the facility. You know what I mean? The lawyer, you know what I mean? He's, you know what I mean? You're really going to tell him to defend a RICO case behind? You know what I mean? He didn't kill nobody. You know what I mean? It was just crazy. You know what I mean? They just say racketeering and trafficking, but behind bars. I thought between me and you, Kev, the second attempt he would have been out on $20 million offering to the court between me and you. Normally that's what happens.
Yeah.
But
we got a wrap, man.
Yeah.
I'll let it load.
Got it.
And we're on 59.
Over 59? Got it.
Good talk.
All right, you're on 59? All right, got it, Kev.
And then.
All right, get it. Let me just win it. All right. Yep.